Hello everyone, and welcome back to DMG. So this is a crazy Goodwill find. $6 for a complete, in-the-box D-Link MP3 player. I saw this, I knew it would be really fun to take a look at, put it through its paces, and again, it's complete, so it has all of the original drivers and software. So today we're just gonna open this, play around with the hardware, the software, maybe take it apart, and see what MP3 players were like, like late 90s? It's not labeled with an age anywhere. But there is a whole lot on the box, so let's take a look at that. It advertises breakthrough digital quality, and it does note here that it is also a recorder, so it can record audio, Windows 95 or 98, so probably indeed late 90s, as I suspected. State-of-the-art MP3 player. It has 32 megabytes of built-in memory, which is nice. You can expand that up to 64 with a smart media card. That's 32 built-in plus 32 with the smart media card. And it supports 24 through 256K MP3s. Now on the box here, it says it can literally store hours. And I can't even imagine how bad you would have to make your MP3s sound to put hours into 64 megabytes. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and open it up. So it looks like it had probably a serial number that was cut out and probably mailed in to claim a rebate or like product registration or something. And inside this very well decorated printed outside is just the plainest, whitest paper box on the planet. But opening it up, there's the user guide. So I actually haven't flipped through this. I'm gonna see if there's anything interesting in here. Oh, it has copyright protection, digicap, digital capsule audio. This is a pretty big and thick instruction manual. And it's not because it's in many different languages, it's actually only in English. But the concept of digital music was pretty new, so they actually had to walk you through a whole lot. I'd say the last third of it is dedicated to software, but a lot of it is actually just telling you how to use the player, which, by the way, is right here. You can tell it's disgusting. You can tell that it has that rubber that has just turned into goop. It's already on my hands, and you can see its outline in the box where it was. So this is made out of utterly disgusting just goop. And unfortunately, it's not clear like the front of the box. Like, you can't, it's not see-through plastic, and that may be the greatest disappointment of all time. But there's still more in the box, so we're gonna keep going. There's, of course, your software, CD, device drivers, and MP3 software. Never opened parallel cable. So a lot of the stuff in this box is just unopened. So what I think happened is this was probably a gift to someone who didn't know how to use it or didn't have an interest in using it. So it just sat in the box for a while until it got donated. So it's been opened, but I guess technically it's still brand new. So we're definitely going to be needing this cable. And I'm very glad it did come with this cable because, well, it wouldn't be essentially useless. You could still use a smart card, but it would be a lot less convenient to use without this cable because that is definitely a proprietary plug. That's just parallel interface over a small, like, what, 20-something pin connector? So it's like Apple's old 30 pin, essentially. That wasn't parallel, but I'm just comparing what the connector is like. Oh, we have a rubber bag that is beginning to break down and turn back into oil. That's going immediately in the trash. And we have some horrible earbuds. I can't tell if my hands are just sticky and gross or if the bag is actually... No, everything in here, every plastic compound in here is beginning to break down. Well, actually, yeah, I think these are safe to put in my ears. These don't seem to be too gross and sticky, so we're gonna give these a try. Toshiba AAAs. One of them is gross and corroded, and the other isn't even out of the package. So we're gonna give this a try. We're gonna give this battery a try. See if it holds up. I actually haven't turned this on. I don't know how one would turn it on. But we're gonna put these batteries in. The orientation is labeled on the back. We're using that original Toshiba and a new Energizer. Gee, if only I had a manual that told me how to turn the player on. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry, the power on key, you hold down play. No, what? I might just be stupid. I think that very well could be the problem. I might just be stupid. Oh no, this battery was just bad. So the original Toshiba battery is actually working just fine. One of my new ones was actually bad, and that was the problem. So it powered right on. It says no file. So unfortunately we're not going to get any of the previous owner's music on it. I think that's how you turn it off. Goodbye. How kind, how sweet. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands, and then we're gonna play with the software. Okay, this really just does not even come off of my hands. This is possibly the worst substance ever created by mankind. Ugh. Alright, power hooked up, and we're gonna plug in this parallel port cable. This is like 2 feet, maybe 3. It's not very long. Okay, so on this computer, well, here we go. Music match and audio catalyst and sample music. Let's hear it. Hello? Oh yeah, there we go. So there's all the software. Oh, we've got a whole utility here.
Now into peoplesound.com. This is Total Music. Free music, personalized to suit you. The music on this CD is but a taster of the great music peoplesound.com offers. To access tens of thousands of other free tracks, and to find out how peoplesound.com can personalize your music and give you great new sounds to suit you, just click on the www.peoplesound.com button now.
Hell yeah! New LoJack just dropped. Anyway, okay, so that's pretty awesome. Please install this voice driver before the Windows 98 driver. Okay. So, that's a little bothersome. So this is interesting. It has you install a separate driver before you install the normal driver. That's interesting. Anyway, add new hardware. Here we go. Okay. Have disk, browse, and then it wants me to go to the CD and select voice compression. Whoop. Okay, so it's installing the driver for Micronas Intermetal MISC4 converter. What a sexy name. Okay, so, there's a device driver for something, not the MP3 player. I guess that's the voice recording function. So maybe it's able to record straight to PC instead of to its card. We're gonna find that all out. Or maybe for recording it just dumps the data as a raw file, and then the computer assembles it magically into an MP3. This poor machine is just loaded with so much crap. Just so many device drivers and little programs that start on startup. This poor guy. Alright, so I guess this is the driver for the MP3 player. Here we go. The MP3 Internet Music Revolution. Yes, please. That sounds awesome. I'm sorry, this fan is absolutely thunderous right now. As is the disk drive. The cacophony of noise is astonishing. Oh yes, I would. Sure, just fuck my shit up. And audio catalyst. Sure, just install more things. Which of the 3 MP3 player softwares on this CD would I like to use? I have copyright-safe music encoded in MP3 formats that, according to the back of the box, should work. So we're gonna throw those on here first, because as much as I would like the authentic experience, I also don't want copyright claims. So, plugged in, powered on, no file. We're gonna open up this MP3 manager here. There we go. I should check that. Okay, I think LPT1 is my... Yeah, LPT1 is my parallel port. Probably could change in settings first, but it's much easier to just do it right the first time. Can't communicate with player. Okay, did it turn off? What do you mean 0, 2? That's not how computers work. D-Link really out here putting 2s in binary. It said something about making sure my parallel port was set to a certain mode, and I do believe that would be done in the BIOS. So, last shot, I'm gonna go into the system BIOS and printer port set to ECP mode. ECP, EPP. I think this is all fine. Okay, so we've changed our printer port mode. Once again, I'm terribly sorry. I actually know very little about this era of computers. But worst comes to worst, I've got an 8 meg and a 2 meg smart media card, and we can, it's running check disk. And we can just go ahead and drop music on those, put them in the player, see how it works. Or if it works, rather. New hardware found, ECP printer port. So that's a good sign. Something flashed on the screen there for a second. Connected with host. Oh, perfect. So that was what I needed to do. I needed to go in and set the printer port as ECP. Tells you what way to put in the smart media card. Slot in and power back on. Formatting memory. And now it shows a little icon for a smart media card up there in the corner. So, plugged back into the computer. And I think first thing I want to do is... Okay. Well, I was really excited. I ripped a CD that I bought in Japan, and the track titles are in kanji. And I wanted to see how this player contended with non-English characters. But it looks like not even Windows 98 knows what to do with it. Windows 98 doesn't even recognize those characters. It's not valid in the file system. Oh, connected with host, and there we go. It's copying over. And it's showing the individual bytes of the MP3 that are being written to the player. That's pretty damn awesome. Now it looks like on the computer side, the memory and the smart media card aren't treated as one. You copy them over individually. But I guess on the player, the files on them are just heaped into one, and we're gonna see what that's like. Well, I have a speaker here, a little Sony powered speaker. So we're gonna plug it into the player, and oh, awesome. 4811, is that how much is remaining on the, like, on the player in that bitrate? Well, anyway, let's hit play. I think something is very wrong in the metadata of this file. It thinks the file is 48 minutes long, and it's playing it at that speed. And there is no sound coming out either. I don't think you're going to believe me when I say this, but once again, the problem was user error. I had forgotten to put batteries in the powered speaker. That's pretty pathetic of me. Its output is so weak that at the maximum volume, it can barely even drive these little earbuds. But we're going to hit play. Very nice music. So even though it doesn't process the time metadata correctly, it actually plays this file just fine. We're gonna go to the next. Yeah, it plays MP3s. Just as God intended. Okay, I like that you just plug it into the computer. You don't have to do any, like, pairing or syncing or anything. I actually really like that design. There we go, connected to the player again. We're gonna switch to the memory card and copy... Let's see, where's Underworld 2? Yes. It doesn't look like it's any slower copying to the smart media card. Looks like it's about the same speed. Alright, yeah, sorry, I ran out of space on my mini DV tape. So now we have Underworld 2 on the smart media card on the external memory. So we're gonna flip through Ice Shaman, ending, Underworld 2. Oh, fantastic. So it treats the memory all as one. Even if you have songs on, like, the separate card, you don't have to go into a menu and switch between internal and smart media memory. So that's really, really nice. I was worried that that would have to happen. It seems to default to volume level 16 every time it's turned off and back on. And that's a little bit bothersome. I'm gonna go get some nice IEMs and see what it sounds like through them. It actually sounds pretty damn good. Its soundstage is not very wide, but that's just a product of the file format. That's just a product of the kind of compressed MP3s. Treble and bass definition is just fine. They're separated well enough. They're not crunchy. They're not flat. It actually has a pretty well-rounded sound, and that's even without the equalizer. And there's no crunch, there's no digital noise, there's no like background clicks and pops like you get with some cheap 90s audio decoding chips. It's actually good. And now my hands are just covered in its fluids. But other than that, I'm actually impressed. Well, we're gonna give this CD a second try. I think some of the shitware that it's installed can be used to rip CDs. Audio Catalyst. What is this? Grab and code half of the tracks on the CD. Man, come on. Okay. So we're gonna grab and encode half of the tracks on the CD with Audio Catalyst, and then we're gonna move those over. They're not gonna have the kanji, but wow. So it doesn't do like the first 9 tracks, it just picks a bunch at random. This CD has a ton of tracks on it. That's incredible. There's a lot of like really advanced CD drive settings here. That's a stupid directory. We're gonna just put it straight on the storage drive, and we're gonna rip. This is so cool. This is like a solid ripping program. There's our poor AMD K6 II getting absolutely just ruined by this MP3 ripping program. And I want to see what quality it rips these in too. Oh, it says it right here. 128K. So it's ripping in 128K. 170 possible speed problems caused by our slow AMD K6 II 380. This is hilarious. Again, there's absolutely nothing else running on the processor. Oh, there it is. So yeah, that's a little faster than, like, well, no, I guess that's exactly 4.6 times faster than real time if one were to be listening to the CD. I think slowing it down to 1x read speed would be lighter on the processor as well. Oh, so it ripped it to the disk, and now it's compressing it into an MP3. So it doesn't do it on the fly, because that would be too hard on the CPU. I get it now. Okay. Oh, something else I wanted to try is copy a WAV file to see if it can play one of those. Just, you know, of course it's marketed as an MP3 player, but I want to see if it can handle other common file formats at the time. So this is a really compressed, shitty, low-quality WAV file that I pulled from some old game CD. So we're going to throw that on, and then we're going to throw the Akina Nakamori ripped CD file on. The hell do you mean .voc? Volatile organic compound? It changed the name, or sorry, the file extension, when I copied it over to the... You mean memory is not available? Oh, I guess I ran out of space. I ran out of space already on the smart media card. So it changed the file extension from WAV to VOC when I copied it to the player. That's interesting. We're gonna see what that's all about. Wow, CPU's so slow it couldn't even eject the optical drive while it was copying to the MP3 player. I'm gonna keep shitting on this AMD K6. I hope you know that. Track 5? Yeah, so the WAV file that it changed to .voc doesn't even show up in the interface of the player. This sounds like shit. Even just on the speaker. We're gonna go back to the IEMs and compare this quality. Because this was ripped on that computer. It's astonishing how much of a difference there is between 128 and 256 kilobits per second. Because 128 is what that computer ripped the CD as, and 256 is the maximum supported, and that's what I ripped all of my audio files that I've been testing it with as. Like, that's what all the Unreal Tournament ones, for example, are, and the RimWorld ones too. It's astonishing how much difference there is. Okay, so that's all of the software side of the player. We can close this laptop and get it out of here. But there's still more it can do that we haven't explored. Under this mode button, voice mode. Oh, well that's where the WAV file went. BGM03. So, when you put a WAV file on it, does it recognize it as a recording from the player? Okay, so it won't play this WAV file. I guess it's not in the right compression format. But we're going to pre-process. Voice recording. Okay, so it is now, as you can see, it's got a little flashing light, and it's recording. So I don't know where it's recording to. I hope it is the smart media card, so I can just pull this off using my laptop. Not the Windows 98 one. I really hope I don't have to use that one again. But now, as you can see, it's got a little flashing light, and it's recording. So I don't know where it's recording to. I hope it is the... Yeah, it recorded. Perfect. That's really wonderful. I think I might use that as my new microphone. I'm gonna swap out this guy for this. Alright, once again, I really hope that this is stored on the smart media card, because I would rather not go digging through the internal storage again to find it. Hello? Hi there. Well, now the computer is not recognizing the smart media card. Did it... What on earth? It's not even registering on the laptop anymore. Did the player put it in some weird format that only it can read? No! That's horrible. Why would they do this? That's really, really awful. I hate that. Okay, well, that's where I'm gonna wrap up. I've been shooting for an hour and 15 minutes. Most of it was just waiting for that godforsaken laptop to do things. But I really didn't expect to talk about an MP3 player for this long. It was fun getting a chance to open it up, you know, install the software, see what it was like to have bought an MP3 player in the late 90s, early 2000s. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it as interesting as I did. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. It sounds pretty damn good, all things considered. It does bother me that it formats the memory card in an annoying-ass format that the computer can no longer read after it's formatted in the player. But I actually wouldn't be surprised if that's for some copy protection thing. Because, like, maybe the D-Link software would refuse to copy protected files to the player. And if you can't just write them to a smart media card in FAT format and slot them in, then that prevents you from playing copyrighted music or something on it. I really wouldn't be surprised if that is the actual root cause, but behind the strange formatting of the card. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I had a whole lot of fun. I hope you did. And I hope if you did that you'll come back and see me again. Thanks.